Shalom and welcome back to the channel. Before we start, I want to bring to your attention a GoFundMe I started on behalf of a dear friend from Kenya. She is suffering from colon cancer and has lost her health insurance needed to pay for the chemotherapy treatment. If you have funds to spare, we'd really appreciate if you could donate to her page. As a thank you for donating at least $20, I'll send your way a custom short or long sleeved Anti-Blasphemy Ministries t-shirt with your favorite Bible verse on the front. The link to the GoFundMe and my email address is in the description below. In this lesson, we'll be wrapping up chapter 1 of this ministry's beginner series with the topic of fasting. Here we have to address 3 questions. The first is defining fasting from a biblical perspective. Next, we'll go over why it's necessary to fast as a Christian. And finally, we'll go over ways we can go about fasting. With that being said, let's get started. When we turn to Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 through 2, we get the narrative of the Son of Yah traversing to the wilderness, and there he was tempted by the devil. What's interesting to note here is that the Messiah fasted for 40 days and nights. Now, while the Bible doesn't explicitly say we must fast for that long, it is important to keep in mind that the Son of Yah was brought to earth to serve as an example for mankind to follow. Fasting is definitely one of those examples that the Son of Yah demonstrated that we must also do as a part of our walk with the Most High. Now, if we look at the standard definition of fasting, we come to find that it can be total abstinence from food, or it can also mean to eat sparingly or refrain from a select choice of foods. Keep in mind, none of these definitions talk of abstaining from water. Even back in Matthew chapter 4, it doesn't state that the Son of Yah didn't drink water. Of course, that would be obvious since he fasted for 40 days and nights. As far as the Bible is concerned, there are 3 main types of fasting one can do. The first is a regular fast consisting of just water and no food. The next is a partial fast, which would consist of water, fruits, and vegetables. A strong scriptural example of this type of fast is found in the book of Daniel. Then there's the extreme method of total fasting, which is depriving yourself of both food and water for a select period of time. You should do the fast that best suits your needs and health capabilities. Now that you have come to understand the basics of what fasting is, you may be asking yourself what it has to do with you and your walk with the Most High. Well, look at it this way. While food is a necessity for living, it's also a gateway to producing unnecessary emotions that could potentially block your connection with Yah. For example, fast food restaurants are notorious for serving food products that send extreme dopamine levels to the brain, resulting in an addictive dependency on the foods to reproduce the same effects. Health issues aside, this cycle of carnal gluttony can easily tear you away from having an interest in the word of Yah. It would be in your best interest to stay away from harmful foods and also to implement a healthy fasting lifestyle. Doing so will shift your dopamine levels to a healthier alternative, and you'll be closer to the Heavenly Father that way. The main purpose of fasting is to maintain and improve your relationship with Yah. Improving your relationship with the Most High is necessary in order to get insight on various factors in your life. If you need deliverance from sin, protection, and guidance, then the fasting is necessary. When you fast, you are demonstrating to the Most High that the cares of this world are trivial to you, and when he sees that, he will surely bless you for it. Another reason to fast is to enact in charity. When you make sacrifices for the sake of others, it's a clear sign that you are a child of Yah. Think about how much you spend on food a month, if not a week. Consider using some of those expenses for those that are less fortunate. A passage in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 8 says this, "And above all things have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins." Keep that in mind the next time you decide to stop at McDonald's. Just don't abuse it. That is to say, don't use charity as a means to keep sinning. If you do that, then you are believing in vain. tread carefully, and do everything for the sake of righteousness, fasting included. The book of Esther is a great example of how powerful fasting can be when it comes to connecting to the Most High. I highly suggest you read this book if you haven't already. But to give an overview, there's a Jewish queen who was faced with a problem regarding the genocide of her people. To solve this problem, she and her followers sought help from the Most High. She instructed her people to fast with no food or water for 3 days with the hope that Yah will protect them from harm's way. The book is a heartwarming reminder that the Most High answers to those that seek Him out diligently. Now that we've gotten this far, it's time for a quick breakdown of ways you can fast based on the three main types. Keep in mind that this chart is a recommendation based on an average person's dietary and health needs. For example, a regular fast would normally last for up to 3 days, give or take. A partial fast can last 7 times longer, whereas a total fast should only be done for 1 day. One thing they all have in common is that they can be done by yourself or with a group. If you're doing it in a group, you should do it with a specific and common goal in mind. For example, me and my congregation would do group fasting for the sake of seeking Yah for guidance in the form of visions and dreams. Do keep in mind that group fasts can only work if all members are in unity and don't stray from the goal. I'm sad to say that oftentimes I was the one holding back the congregation for not committing to the fast, which is something I have to make up for through personal prayer. While it's true that two or more gathered in the Son's name draws Him closer, when it comes to spiritual matters, the group has to be equally yoked. These following YouTubers talk more in detail about fasting, the first being my brother, Brandon Ahmad, who has a good following in regards to not just fasting, but eating healthy in general. The next YouTuber talks much about the spiritual benefits of fasting. He goes by the name Mark the Messenger. The last one talks both about the health and spiritual benefits of fasting. She calls herself the Biblical Nutritionist. All three provide great insight on the process of fasting and why you should partake as a regular part of your lifestyle. In the next lesson, we will begin Chapter 2 of the Beginner series. In it, we will cover 4 core concepts of faith and what they all mean in relation to the gospel, and why they're important to know and understand to further improve your walk with Yah. Please follow these talented teachers. If you found the content here enlightening, then you will really like theirs. I can't stress enough how influential these two are to getting out the truth of the gospel. We all belong to Brother Owen's Discord channel, and we hold Bible studies every day. All links will be in the description below this video. With that said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Shalom Shama.